So today I want to do a video on how it is that I got into wedding photography. So I didn't actually start out as a portrait or wedding photographer. I started out as a product photographer. So I was shooting a lot of e-com stuff and a lot of ad stuff that was put online, sometimes in magazines, different various types of advertisement. Now if you don't know much about product photography is a lot of design stuff. You're working with different people for the design of the way that an ad should look, and then the building of the sets and stuff like that. There's not a whole lot of actual photography that's involved in it. It's more about creating that image that's going to be used for advertisement. So I did this for quite some time. It was mainly studio stuff, so all studio lighting, studio setup, studio builds. And the way that I ended up getting into portrait photography was completely by accident. I had no intention of getting into portrait photography, but of course, all my friends and family know what it is that I was doing, and they just assumed, well, you have a camera, so you could take our photos. I was asked by some people, to take I can't even remember what the first one was that I even did, but I took some photos and ended up finding out that I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed working with people and photographing people. So I started kind of leaning into that. It was more kind of a side thing that I was doing while I was still doing the commercial portion of it, but it slowly started to grow. And then it started coming to the point that I was actually charging people to do, senior sessions and family sessions and stuff like that. Next thing I know, I had somebody reach out to me and ask if I would be interested in shooting a wedding. I told them I had no experience in shooting weddings. I don't know anything about it. But they were desperate. They needed someone. And I said, you know what? I think I charged them $200 and came and shot for 6 hours and absolutely fell in love. Something that I'd always enjoyed doing was concert photography. There was nothing that I was ever charging for, but it'd give me free passes into shows, and I really enjoyed doing it. And something that I really enjoyed about concert photography is that fast pace. I'm not having to build sets, I'm not having to set up stuff. I'm just in the moment and taking photos, and I really, really loved that. In that first wedding that I shot, that's what I realized, that wedding photography is a lot like. You're not really setting up shots, you're letting the moments happen, and you're just capturing them. It can be very fast paced, and it was something that I really, really enjoyed. It kind of got my adrenaline going, and and then just the images that you would create during those, and it's just completely different game from doing product photography, and I just fell in love with it right away. So the next thing I started doing was second shooting. I'd reached out to some other photographers I knew. Being a photographer for as long as I'd been a photographer, I knew a lot of people in the community, and I had friends that were wedding photographers. So I started shooting as a second shooter, started getting my feet wet a little more. After a little while of doing that and really kind of honing in on that skill of wedding photography, I started branching out onto my own. I started advertising. I'd set up social media and website that was dedicated to that part of photography while still doing the product photography stuff. And honestly, it really didn't take long to where I realized that wedding photography was starting to make me more money than the product photography part of it was. And then on top of that, it was something that I enjoyed so much more. I found myself looking at my calendar and just looking forward to those weddings that I had coming up, because I knew that it wasn't spending all this time just building out a set just to create this one perfect image. I got to go and actually have my cameras and do what it is that I enjoy doing, which is shooting photographs. And I think most of us got into this because we love having a camera in our hand. We might be looking at different ways of being able to take our hobby and make money, because who wouldn't want to make money doing what it is that they love doing? But it's a matter of figuring out how to get into that part, or what it is that we enjoy, what it is that gives you that drive and that spark. I know a lot of product photographers that absolutely love it. That is their hobby right there, and it pays them very, very well. But myself, I ended up finding out by complete accident that what I truly, truly enjoyed was shooting photographs of people. I like getting those raw emotions. I like seeing people's smiles. So what I suggest to anybody who is looking to get into photography and trying to take it to a whole nother level is try out all the different niches. There's all kinds of different types of photography that could pay your bills. So kind of play around with them, talk to other area photographers, reach out to people online that do this for a living, and get kind of their insight. YouTube is, of course, a great way of finding out information about different niches and different things that you could experiment with. You could end up finding out that you absolutely love doing product photography. It can be something very rewarding, and it can be a lot of fun. Some of the images that I created as a product photographer, I'll still look back on and just amazes me. And especially looking at them and knowing how it is that it was done and how I had to use these certain lights and certain scrims and all the little tricks to be able to create these types of photographs and get these soft gradients to it. But what that also did, though, was kind of parlayed into what I do now. Understanding light in a studio situation like that has completely changed the way that I do any type of portrait photography. I can't say that it changed it because I hadn't done it before. But I took all of that studio information, all that studio knowledge that I had built, and I've been able to bring it into portrait photography using off-camera flash and on-camera and all of that stuff. But yeah, you know what? Quick video there. If you're looking to get into photography and you're just not really sure what you want to do, then my best advice is to just get out and shoot. Start trying out all kinds of different things. Watch videos on different types of niches and try to find what it is that truly drives you, what makes you want to create.